Hi, 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 everybody, and welcome. Oh, hi, everybody, and welcome to Making Magic with Diana on Wednesday night. Tonight, we are going to be doing this beautiful folio with from the plant department from Prima. So I'm happy. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, hello. Hi, Barb. Hi, 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 everybody. It's great to have you guys join me tonight. Seeing a few people popping in here. And okay, let me see if I can bring this down so I can get my comments. There we go. Get my comments up beside me. Love the way Facebook sets this up. Either I can see my comments beside me in a big picture or comments way down below and a little tiny picture of me working. So I don't like it, the fact that I can't have a great big picture. This paper is gorgeous, isn't it, Carolyn? It's a really interesting collection of paper. I love this paper in particular. It is called Where Peacocks Gather. And so I actually chose it for the front of this folio to work with here. It is gorgeous paper to work with. So we're going to play with this one tonight. It is called The Plant Department. It is from Prima. And it's actually it's really beautiful to work with. And I kept the folio as I was working on this really simple as a result. You know, sometimes you just want the paper to be the star of the folio. Between the paper and the pictures that you're going to put in it. So I didn't do a lot of things with it. And it was really putting together the folio in such a way that we could make the paper and whatever pictures you're going to put into it, the stars, really. Hi, Linda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's kind of fun to play with this kind of paper on gorgeous spring days like we're having right now. Finally, the weather's kind of beautiful. So what I have done is I have actually just temporarily stuck everything in place. I will flip through and show you what I have put together here. And then I will start actually putting everything in place for real so that you can see how I put this together. Hi, Lori. Welcome, welcome. So I will just wait and see if there's a few more people. So what I did here, there is a kit for this if anybody is interested. And it comes with 12 by 12 sheets of paper. It actually comes this time with a number of extra cardstocks that I played with and helped to match them. So there's a selection of papers in these colors that I actually matched up. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Lynn. To use as accent colors. It was really interesting to play and see. You would think that it's easy to match up, but as we all know, as we're playing and going, yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't work. So I matched up some colors to go along with it, so it comes with those as well. And then it actually comes with some chipboard stickers and ephemera icons, which have the gold foil on them, which is some of these that you're seeing here as well. So that is, and actually these extra ones here, I just cut these out here from, hi Laura, hi Judy, from a piece of scrap paper. I fussy cut them and added them onto the front here. Hi Lynn, and I just did that, and I'm going to foam dot them onto the cover to actually add a little bit of oomph to the front as well, just add some dimension. So let me show you guys a little bit about how I did this folio. So it is, let me just grab the cover here to show you what size. Hi, Kate. This is a, what size? It's a Prima folio, which also comes in the kit if you're interested. So this is a magnetic journal, and it is 6.5 by 6.5, and it has 8 chipboard pages inside. So when I say it's a, hi Chantal, when I say it's a magnetic, what does that mean? Okay, I'm going to take these little pieces off, which I'm going to add on in a moment. It's one that closes and opens like this. Okay, so it clasps like that. So let me show you what this whole folio looks like when I open it up. So when you look at it, there's the paper on the spine, and there's the paper on the back, and then there's another spine over here. And I put all, and it's, you can see the gold's reflecting. It's just gorgeous paper. So when I was cutting the paper out, I wanted to be, and in the instructions that I created, I actually said how to, where to cut on the paper, because I wanted, you can see the gold reflecting there too. It's just beautiful paper. I was very specific about where I chose to cut certain pieces from for different pieces. So let me show you inside what I did here. So there's a flat piece here. I put a photo on here, and then when you, I'm going to take the page ones off now, and then you open it up, and you can see, and then I put a small photo here. This is a pocket so that you can slide something in there. And then there's two photos going in here. And then these are pocket pages here and here, here and here. And then there's two photo pages here with some different size photos. Because again, the paper is so gorgeous, you almost don't want to cover it up. It's like you're looking at it going, I got to put photos on these pages, but I'm covering up this gorgeous foiled paper, right? And then I've got two large, and these are 4x4 pages, photos on here, because the 4x6 doesn't fit when you go to use this album input. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did here. So these are 4x4s. And these are the flip side of this page here. But if you prefer the other page, absolutely no reason why you couldn't do it. These are angled pocket pages. So, and this, for instance, is just one of the pieces of leftover. I thought it was beautiful, and you could just tuck that right in there, or you could tuck some other in there. As I said, these are all just temporarily down, and I'm going to actually glue them all in place. And this one has a secret little door. This paper is called the Secret Garden Door. And I actually cut a double layer, and I'll show you how I did that. And actually, so that you can open up, you could put a little secret message in there. You could put a little photo in there. Hi, Carmen. And then this page you could put a photo on. I'm just going to tuck a little note in there. And then this is actually a double spine fold over here. So let's start creating. You can see how I put it all together, but let's start on the front. So this is, so the paper I used on the front is called the Where Peacocks Gather. And this is so the very first thing I did with this, and it's totally up to you whether or not you want to do this, but I actually took frayed burlap. Oh, this temporary stuff holds a little bit better than I thought. Frayed burlap distressed oxide, and I actually went around all the edges of the binder, and I actually brushed on all the edges inside and out, because I just wanted to finish the edges a bit. You could certainly use so this is a neutral brown. You could certainly use another color, like some of the other colors I considered were old paper, antique linen, bundled sage. You could use or vintage photo, anything like that I think would work with this, and work great. I think the colors would also work really, really well with this folio. So I am going to, so this piece here that I cut out, I wanted the gold foil on here, and the roses and the butterfly, and I still want the edges to show up. So I cut this piece, I believe this one is 2 7/8 by 6 1/4. Yeah. And I'm just going to glue that little piece in. This main piece here is 5 7/8 by 6 1/4. I'm just going to glue this down. And for this one, I wanted to make sure that I got the full peacock on here, which actually when the magnetic piece folds over onto it, it actually covers up. But when you open it up, you see it. So that's how that one's going to go. So I'm going to put the other spine on. Thank you, Heather, because I couldn't find it. I looked and looked and looked. I was going to try and put the link in at the start. So this piece here is 2 by 6 1/4. So Heather has just put the link in there for the kit. Aha, that's hello, Sandra. Welcome, welcome. And Sandra, my porch is ready for whenever you want to come and have a coffee. So whenever you're in town, let me know. Oh, sorry guys, I just realized I was out of frame there. So again, I really wanted to make sure that I got the rose with the gold foil. In the instructions, I actually said where I specifically cut on the piece of paper from. So I very much laid out, when you look at the piece of paper, which is a 12 by 12 sheet, I cut specifically from different sections of the paper. So for instance, you can see on this one, this has the building blocks on it, or the crumbling blocks. I wanted that specifically on the back. Here I wanted the gold foil flowers. Here I wanted the peacock there with the blue flowers up here. I wanted the writing up here. You can see you just got a flash of the gold foil letters there. And I wanted the roses, you know, in particular here. So when I was cutting them all out, I got it all out of a single piece of paper. And again, you can see how I went around and I did all the edges. And I'm just gluing them down. Okay. Now I will say, I did pick up, if you're more of a, you want more flowers on the front than what I actually have. That's the Prima paper, yes. It's the plant department. So I'm just going to be putting on some extra little, but then last week I was in the store and I saw the beautiful flowers. And I thought if you were very much a flower person, you could absolutely use, I'm just going to lay these on here and show you how gorgeous these again were the plant department flowers that came in. You could see how gorgeous the flowers work. I'm not going to put them on there, but you can see, because also I love the paper so much. I don't want to cover anything up. So here's what I'm doing. These are from the Ephemera Icons. And I am, so they have the gold on them. And I'm going to, I'm just going to glue this on in the middle. This comes down here. Just to add a little bit more. So the butterfly I'm pop daubing up. This one I'm pop dotting up. These were cut from just a leftover piece of paper. These are all pop dotted up just to add. And then this is one of the icons. It has some pull and tear, but I'm also going to glue it as well. But I'm only going to glue half of it. Oh, I should probably left. Come to think of it, I should have left. Where did I throw that? Oh, I should have left half the paper on it. I'm only going to glue half. Where did that other paper go? Ah. Got actually a piece of plastic here. I have a piece of plastic. I'm going to cut a piece of plastic to go on the other side. I don't want it to stick on that side because I want it to open. And I'm going to put it in the middle. I don't actually want it to stick to that other side because I want it to open up. Okay. So moving inside, this paper is called Messages from Plants. And I cut a piece. Again, I wanted this scalloped piece in here. Use your sniffy. Again, a lot of this one was about where I wanted the paper placement so that it showed up in a very particular way on the pages. This again is a sheet that is 5 5/8 by 5 3/4. And it's the same size for all of the pages. Same thing over here. Now, this page is a flip up page. So I cut this page, it's 11 inches this way, and then I scored it in half, and so that it would flip up this way. So this is Messages from Plants. It's got the foil on the bottom, and I am going to glue it in only on the bottom. So you can see that's the back of the continuation of that scallopy side. So I'm just going to glue it in on the bottom. This is temporary. Oh, that's holding pretty. So this is I do believe this is a 3 by 3. Yep, 3 by 3. And I matted each of these photos. So this is matted in cinnamon stick. And then I grabbed, this is from the chipboard stickers, and it's a little postcard with rose arbors around it. So I'm just going to glue that down. And I'm going to leave the top half without any glue on it so that you can slide the photo in. And then again, this photo here is another, I think it's a 3 by 3 as well. Yeah. And then this is a 4 by 4. and I'm tucking the photo into the open space. And this is a 4x4. So that's my flip up on that page. Oh, I might have moved that over a little too far. Yep. Got it. Okay. So then on this page, it is just this one is same paper, just a different section on it, although it looks different. I'm gonna have to go back. Yeah, I gotta adjust the way this page is sitting. It's not sitting properly, but of course it does when this. Isn't that interesting? It's over just a tad. I think it's. It's like it's sitting funny. I might have to. Okay. And this is a 2x2 photo, and then there's just a little. Color did I use on the folio part? It is frayed burlap. It's Distress Oxide. And again, I'm just going to put some glue. So this is another little chipboard ephemera icon. And I'm just going to put it down on the bottom and only glued it on the bottom so I can slide the photo in. This is a chipboard sticker on the top. It says Good Days Only. And I'm just going to glue it in on the top here. So then what I did on this page was I actually put a backdrop on the page. So I'm going to pull out that. And then I created a pocket. Again, it's the same paper, just another section to it. But first I used Stonehenge and created a backdrop on the page. Glue that in place. This temporary tape is holding a lot better than I thought it would actually. And then this is a pocket. So I intentionally picked, if you can kind of see here, there's kind of a porch arbor in here with the roses coming down, and it says roses there and plant department. I picked that on purpose, and I'm only going to glue the 3 sides so I can make sure that I can create a pocket here. So that I can slide something in. Now flipping over here, thank you, Erin. This paper is called Fleur. It's absolutely gorgeous as well, and you can see I've pulled 2 little chipboard ephemera icons from here, which we're going to add on. So these are 2 4x4 photos, and this paper is Whirlpool. So I've cut the photo mats from this paper called Whirlpool. So I'll add them on. So I actually, again, wanted to make sure that I'm getting some of the writing in here. And chose a lot of it has to do with the placement. There's a couple of pieces that are used later in the folio that have very specific elements on it that I used later on. So I wanted to make sure, and you'll see them when I show them to you exactly what I mean. So these are almost kind of the leftover pieces. It doesn't take a whole lot, but you want to make sure that you're using everything really well. And now I'm just going to center. I like matting my photos. I just find it helps to make them pop out against the backdrop, particularly when the paper is as gorgeous as this. You just almost need to have it stand out a little bit more, buffer it a little bit against. Now I did try to make sure that they were gonna, oh, I should probably use my ruler here, shouldn't I? To get them to line up. Or you could have them, yeah, I think this has to come over a bit more. This is where I always personally have issues, and I find the paper always throws you off too. That's why I put this one on the bottom. Again, I just put the glue on the bottom so I could tuck the photo in there. And on there so I could tuck the photo in. So this paper here is called Windy Vines. And what I did here, so I created 2 pockets on these pages here. And what I used, now, I'm going to pull these off. This is just, I fussy cut, or did I? No, these are actually chipboard stickers. So I'm going to show you. This is Windy Vine paper, and the back side of it has got the plain peacock. So when I did these pages, I used the back side as the background base. So that's what I've used here. So that's, I'm flipping this over. Sometimes you look at this and go, oh, how am I actually going to turn that over? Kind of breaks your heart sometimes. But I wanted to make the pillars stand out, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. When you look at the paper, there's 2 pillars, and I wanted to make sure, I wanted them to go on either side, like that. So I cut them very specifically to be able to make pockets on either side using the pillars. So again, I'm only going to glue on the top, make sure I get this right, down the side, across the bottom, and I want the one pillar to come over here. Creating a pocket for me to be able to slide something in there. And do the same on this side. knew I was going to do that wrong. I knew somewhere along the way I was going to do something wrong. Yeah. Can't glue the inner side. Goes like that. Gotta glue this side. Okay. Check twice, glue once. Check 3 times, glue once. Okay. Like so. So that the pocket can go in there. Okay. Now I'm going to glue my little peacock on there like he's sitting on the railing. I'm not going to fussy cut them, or I'm not going to pop dot them because I want them flush in there. And I'm also a little concerned that the pocket could get too full. And I'm going to put the rose arbor on that one. So the package of the ephemera comes with so many different pieces. You have tons to work with. So many different pieces you could add in there. There. So that's that page done. So now so this is Windy Vines. And I did something a little different with these 2 pages. I did it on a couple. So I put a 4x4 here, and this is a 3x, I think this is a 3x3. Yeah, and this is a 2x2 photo. And I've got ephemera icon, or the big pieces like this. This is an ephemera icon. But I did something. This is the center of the book. Rather than chopping the page in half, I cut a long sheet. And especially with this paper here, because of the arches on this paper, and again, this was about cutting paper placement. It's the top sheet of one of the pages of the Windy Vines paper. I scored the center. So I cut it, I believe this is 11. Yeah. Actually, it's 12 by 5 3/4. And I scored it in the middle. Actually scored it 3 times. Right in the middle and then on either side so that it would fold properly. You could cut it if you're more comfortable doing it that way. But I decided to do this so that it would just be a continuation of the page right across. And you can see how I have several score lines here. So when you go to glue this back down, I'm going to put extra glue in here. Start in the middle. And fold out, smooth out. Famous last words. So that it will fold and stay nice. Like so. Now I'm going to put that one right there. And then I did a double one on this one. And I overlapped them. It's going to come over a bit more. Yeah, the paper's gorgeous, isn't it? And then I'm just going to tuck that one right there. I know, I mean, I was designing this and going, how do I cover this up? It almost seems like a crime to cover this all up. And then again, I'm just going to stick this beautiful peacock up here in the corner. Is that going to fold it up? And then this one says Beautiful Life. This is one of the ephemera icons. I'm going to put it right in the middle here. Right across the top. Like so. And then that's that page. Now, I did this paper here is called the plant department. So I've got two 4x4s. This one here is ephemera. Sorry, this one's a chipboard sticker. This is a chipboard, and I layered this one and this one and this one. Two 4x4s on here. You can see when I pull the paper off how gorgeous. This is the top of a page. Simple Pleasures right here. And I did the same thing because again, I didn't want to cut. I wanted to do it right across. And you can see how I scored it in the center. Actually, and again, I did one and then two on either side to help it fold. Really on either side of the scores. Put the two photos on. There's two little porch lights that I'm trying to not cover up as well there. There's so many details in this paper. It's incredible. And on this one, I just added a little flower spray over here. Added a little rose spray here. These could be writing. This could be journal writing as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be photos, right? This up here. this in here. This is two separate ones. This is a flower and that's a bird. Put that in there. Okay. That's that page. Now, this is the plant department. This is the flip side. This is totally up to you if you would rather, because this other side is really ornate. I chose to not keep the really ornate side. I'll show you. This is the really ornate side. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. You could actually just do this and put the photos on it. I decided to go with the more subdued side. Totally your call. You could go with the more ornate side. I hemmed and I hawed and I hemmed and I hawed. Total your call. On this one, I added one more of the ephemera icons that had the gold. It says one of a kind on it. This one here. I'm going to add another little arbor. And again, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the side so you can slide the photo in. So that's that page. I, again, kept it a little more subdued, but I kind of like that page too because I wanted the photos to pop. So this page, again, is the floor paper. And I said earlier how I wanted to make a couple of the pages. So these are triangle pockets. I wanted these medallion, kind of like the torn paper medallion pages pop out. So these are when we, was this page back here. This was the other side. So it was kind of cutting that page into quarters. And I wanted these in particular to stand out. So I cut out a square and then I cut the triangles and I wanted this one here and this one here. This album really was all about placement of pieces. So I cut 4 squares or 2 squares of the Whirlpool, first of all, to use as the backdrops on these 2 pages. So I'm just going to glue those into place. That one in place, this one in place. Almost done. It's the second last set of pages. And then I'm going to put this triangle down here. And again, going to glue it on this angle with this one and be very careful about that. So this side and this side. So the long side does not get glued down. And then I added a little tag, the little things, right onto there. And then on this one, again, the long side does not get glued. I just like, when you look closely at the paper, they look like ancient medallions or something. I'm going to put that on this corner. Oops, slide that over. And then I have two pockets. And there's little gold accents to just add. And so again, this was another piece, a little arch with some writing that was left over, and I'm just going to tuck that in as a pocket. Have a little tuck in. Takes us to our last pages. So I'm going to just actually start over on this side here. So this is just an inside piece. And again, I cut specifically, I wanted the peacock. Just going to tuck him. This is the inside of the magnetic fold. Lots of glue on there. And then on this little one here. Okay, so I'm going to point out here. Actually, maybe I'll put this one down first. So I cut this one here, and it says, Our New Guide to Rose Culture. So this piece here is a continuation of this piece. And I'm going to point out that this is one long piece here, and then this one went here. Again, this is all placement of the pieces throughout this entire album. What went where from all the different pieces. I grabbed this little icon, put it down here so it could grab and hold little photos. Hold a photo if you wanted. Now I'm going to put this in here and just use it as a journaling card, but a photo could certainly go in there. Let's put this in here like that. And now I'm going to glue this one in now that you can see. You're going to line it up so that it is a continuation across the top. Our New Guide to Rose Culture. And that brings us to this last page here with the secret door. So, how did I do this? There are 2 pages. Let me lift this off. So I have 2 pages going here, 2 of the same page. So I cut from the Secret Garden paper, the backdrop, and it looks like this. So this is one of the pages. The paper is like this. I cut it out specifically to get the door in. I cut it here, I cut it there. And then from the second page of the same paper, I cut exactly around the door. And I cut it off here. Okay, so you can see where I cut it. I went right across the bottom of the door. I went around, oh, bring it down. Went around here, around, across the bottom. I went up the side here. Okay, so that I ended up with this. Bring it up closer to you guys. And then what I did was I took my fussy cutting knife, which is this kind of a knife, any craft knife really, and then I cut the door open. So I went across the bottom and up the side and around so that I could open the door. Okay, so I'm going to glue all that in place now. So I'm going to glue the base down. Because the paper says the secret garden door. Got to have a secret garden door. How much fun is that? Then this goes right on top. And I'm going to glue just along the edges. And I'm going to layer it. And I'm not pop dotting it because I want it to disappear. I want it to disappear right into the other page that is there. And then what I did was I got one of the other ephemera icons that is shaped. Oh, so there's the piece that's stuck down. Looks like that. Looks like a door, little door wreath. I'm going to stick that on. Looks like a little heart on a door. That on. And then up here, this is one of the chipboard stickers, and it says just perfect. The center kind of, so there's some gold foil printing over here, and I'm going to put this just over from it. So there we have our little secret door. You could put a special little note in there, a little tiny photo. There we go. That page is done. So this is the folio. Oh. I think I need to glue the spine down a little bit better here. There. Sandra, it is the magnetic journal. That's what it looks like. It is 6.5 by 6.5. It's a Prima album. And so this is what it looks like done, guys. It's the spine, back, spine again. Here, let me take it away from the, oh, Simple Pleasures came off. Did get stuck down somewhere. Got to throw that back on. So it comes together like that. We open it up. We open it up. Got a little folder there. This page folds out. I think I put this page in too close to the center, so I'll have to adjust that. Opens like so. Like that. Got our two pockets here. Another pocket here. Like so. Pictures there. Two pictures there. Got our pockets here. Throw another little one there. Secret garden door. Oh, our Just Perfect. Ah, I think our Just Perfect was supposed to go on this page someplace. Oh, well. Don't even know what oh, wait there. Simple Pleasures. I think was supposed to go, yeah, it was supposed to go right there. I'm just going to throw that on. Tuck it right up here. Like so. Ta-da! All done. Five to 9, not bad. Got it all done. I have to be extremely organized. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I think it's gorgeous, actually. I'm really pleased with it. Hope you guys enjoyed joining me to make this little plant department album. It's a great little size too. And the paper is gorgeous. So I hope you guys, thanks for joining me tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you being with me. Nice to see you all. Have a great week. Enjoy the beautiful weather. And I'll see you in the store. I'll see you here live again. Have a great night, guys. Take care.